of all, let's get something straight. Originally, I didn't even plan to become a businessman. I had to. Look at me. You laugh. I look like this in 4th grade, okay? So actually, even before that, the doctor pulled me out. He said, congratulations, it's a CPA. Now, people give me strange looks. I'm thinking, what is a businessman doing working as a comedian, right? Well, you know, the truth is, think about this. The truth is that there are lots of people who make us laugh every day who used to have other jobs. Like Bob Newhart used to be an accountant, right? Jackie Mason was a rabbi. Al Sharpton was a minister. George Bush owned a baseball team. These people make us laugh every day. So. And it's tough now. You know, everybody needs a second. I was on Park Avenue today. I saw a guy had a sign. He said, we'll diversify your portfolio for food. It's tough out there now. It's tough out there. So. A little close to home, I guess. So, actually, you know, what was the big thing? It's too big to fail. That was what we always relied on, too big to fail. And then this summer, General Motors, bankruptcy. And remember when that happened? Everybody was walking around. I can't believe it. It's unbelievable, General Motors, unbelievable. It's shocking, isn't it? I mean, who could have thought that 40 years of making shitty cars could come to that? Right? We'll even take the delayed laughs. Thank you very much. And you know, the government's paying for everything now. I was actually watching the weather. You can tell how exciting my life is. I was watching the Weather Channel the other night for the programming. And I saw that they had a little special on all the storms that have hurt New Orleans over the last 5 or 6 years. Katrina and, you know, the other ones. And they said that all told, the U.S. government has laid out $170 billion for New Orleans. And when I heard that, all I could think about was how badly we got fucked on that Louisiana Purchase. But people are upset with George Bush. They used to be pissed off at Thomas Jefferson for that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are not going to hear a lot of comics with Louisiana Purchase as a punchline, okay? Let's be clear about this, all right? So, get used to this here. Thank you very much. Thank you. And also, Obama came to town last week. That was nice of him. He said he came to town to thank the FBI, the police department, and all of New Yorkers for helping to thwart the recent terrorist attacks. You know something? If he wants to show his appreciation, he shouldn't come on Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the morning. Right? If he wants to show he likes New Yorkers, come 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning and stay still. That's what I said. That will show that you appreciate and understand New Yorkers here. So, what else? You know, he's getting a lot of pressure to act now. That's a big thing. He's got a lot of pressure. He's got to make decisions. Obama, he's got to act. He's got to deal with our enemies. And he's making decisions. Now, today, he agreed to send 20,000 troops to New Jersey. That's all. That did not go well for him yesterday. And by the way, they announced today, I don't know if you heard this, that they have now a timetable for closing Guantanamo. He's figured that he's now going to place all the inmates at Rio de Janeiro. Figures that they'll be integrated into the population by the time those 2016 Olympics roll around. They can have fun with them there. So, Bernie Madoff's in jail, right? Thank you. Bernie Madoff's in jail. Very good. The prosecutor, this is the first time, the prosecutor asked for 150 years, and the judge slapped him with the full 150. Talk about embarrassing. This guy is not only a slimeball and a thief, he is the first Jew ever to pay the full price. True. And I'll tell you what he stole from a lot. He stole from the wrong people. He stole money from Steven Spielberg. And Spielberg's making a movie about, he's getting back, he's making a movie about him. It's called Swindler's List. So I'll tell you a little bit about me. I went to Harvard Business School, which I bring up only because, as I'm sure you know, as a Harvard graduate, we're all required within the first 2 minutes to work it into every conversation. And I know what people are thinking, right? Because if a comedian came up here and said, I went to NYU, people think, okay, that's fine. Or if a comic gets on stage and says, I went to UCLA, people think, that's cool. I get on stage and I say I went to Harvard, people think, what a dick. And you know, whenever people find out that you went to Harvard, they never let you live it down, especially whenever I do something stupid. People always say, hey, what, they teach you that at Harvard? Mr. Harvard, I mean, you never hear people use that expression for other schools, right? Like if you had a friend who accidentally locked his keys in his car, you wouldn't say, hey, what, they teach you that at SUNY Buffalo? Mr. SUNY Buffalo. Actually, I did the stupidest thing the other night. The toilet broke in our apartment, so I tried to, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I tried to fix it. So I opened up the back of the toilet. Have you looked at the workings of a toilet lately? All this talk about how technology is changing our everyday lives apparently has not reached the plumbing industry. The entire thing is powered by a child's bracelet connected to half a tennis ball. And while I was trying to fix it, which I was not successful, I was trying to fix it, I realized that the only toilet that can never stuff up are those suction toilets on the Boeing 767s. I once was sitting down, I flushed it by accident, I lost a testicle. Ouch. So, no, thank goodness they have the paper, the sign in the lavatory in the airplanes. Please don't throw paper towels in the toilet. Like, that would do anything. I accidentally flushed a ski jacket on one of those ones. And you know what the flight attendant said to me? What, they teach you that at Harvard? So what else? You see that Sonia Gandhi turned down the request to become Prime Minister of India? Sonia Gandhi? Yeah, apparently she's making way too much money answering the phones for AOL tech support. You're also not going to hear a lot of outsourcing jokes on stage, people. So maybe tonight, but so. I'll tell you, you can stop. You notice every advertisement that you see now, whether it's in print or on the TV, everyone's got some kind of disclaimer, FDA or legal disclaimer or something like that. And the one that we've all seen now, we've seen it a million times. If you get an erection for more than 4 hours, call your doctor, right? So of course, well, first, if I get an erection for more than 2 hours, I'll call my friends. Okay, so, but the other night I was watching that ad, and all of a sudden it dawned on me: the FDA doesn't make them say that. That is just a marketing pitch. That's all. This is just a sales pitch. That's a 4-hour erection. Have you heard of one person with a... No. Okay, that would be like Jenny Craig saying, warning, if you lose more than 27 pounds in the first week on this diet, call your doctor. So, or Rogaine, if your hair grows to your shoulders in the first 6 days, call your doctor. So, now, focusing on that commercial the other night, I noticed, at the end of that commercial, there are like 5 other side effects that you have to worry about. Nausea, high blood pressure. Nobody has ever heard them. No guy has ever heard those, because once we hear about the 4-hour erection, it's like, that's it. We're just, we don't it could be like, you will die with this, and we're like, okay, as long as we die with an erection, it's fine. I'm there. So, crazy. I do a lot of corporate gigs now, and I did this big gig for Deutsche Bank about 2 months ago, and I happened to mention it to my, I don't know why, I just happened to mention it to my rabbi, so he got all upset. He's like, David, it's not right. Comedy for a German bank, what they did to our people. I'm like, Rabbi, relax. I said, at first it was like 60 years ago. And I said, besides, they're treating me really nicely. I mean, they gave me a big chunk of cash and a painting that used to belong to my grandfather. No, it was very, they even wrote on their check, they wrote reparations. It was really very, very sensitive and sweet of them. So. Now, now that I'm over 50, shocking there, huh? So, now that I'm over 50, I'm concerned about health. I'm trying to exercise more, and I had my annual physical a few weeks ago, and so I was talking to the doctor, and just, what signs to look out for, what to be careful about it. And he said, David, he said, if you want to know how you are likely going to die, he said, where are your troubles and where you're likely going to die, he says, just look at your family history. That's the best way. So I did. And I realized that the odds are that I'm going to die in a burning synagogue in Eastern Europe. It's a little dark, but it's funny. So what the hell? What else? I told I grew up in a small town in New Jersey, and it wasn't easy growing up in this town. I remember in the 60s, it wasn't easy. All my classmates used to make fun of me just because I was Jewish. And that was in Hebrew school, okay? So this was not fun in this town. And my wife is here someplace now, but my wife is not very religious, and I am. But over the years, she's come around, and you know, she's like, her favorite holiday of the year is Halloween, but to make me feel better, she calls it Halloween.